So, you know, as summertime arrives and we're spending more time outdoors, our minds tend to turn to watering the garden. And I'm here with Jessica from Dramm, and I can think of no one better to chat with about watering tools because you guys do a great job of offering them to us.
Yeah, and we have a very colorful selection. And, you know, a little bit history about the company.
Yes.
Is actually, we started in the greenhouse industry. So John G. Dramm was actually a florist working in his flower shop. And at the time, it was the 1940s, and actually the way people would water their plants is they would actually take their thumb and then they would put it over the hose, and that's how they would water. So as you can imagine, it's not really efficient. You're not making sure that you're getting the same amount of water per plant. So what he wanted to do was he wanted to create an item that was going to produce a massive amount of water, but then also be really easy on your flowers. So what he did was he actually invented this. This is actually the 400 aluminum water breaker. It's made of solid aluminum, and it has 400 tiny little holes. And what that does, it's able to produce a massive amounts of water, but then a really nice rain shower. And you know, when you're gardening, the best thing to do when you're watering is to mimic nature as close as possible. And that's actually what this does.
So it was just this idea alone simply was basically a diffuser and turning it into a thing that didn't blow the soil out, knock the plant over. Very, very clever. But you guys really, he took that and then you went further, didn't you?
Exactly. And so what happened was he invented this, and actually today, worldwide, this is like the #1 use for commercial growers.
Amazing.
And so what we did was we continued to expand. We introduced watering tools and other for the greenhouse growers. And what happened was a lot of consumers would come into the greenhouse and they would go up to the growers and say, hey, I see that you're using this tool. I would like to buy that for my garden.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we say, okay, yeah, we can do that. So we actually started selling to the consumers. So when you're buying Dramm products, you're buying the same products that the professionals are using.
And you know, I have to say that now this is really becoming the gardener's choice, not just the grower's choice, because it is such a great product. And part of the way you get there is you guys do some extensive testing, don't you?
Definitely, yes, especially with, you know, we're talking about one of our products here is the One Touch valve. That's one of our new products.
I so love this.
Yep. It's easy to use. You can turn it on and off right from your thumb. You have full control of it. And we've done massive amounts of testing on this product. We actually have a video that shows how you can turn it on and off, and we set it up where you can do thousands of that testing to make sure that it stays that quality. And then also what we do is we have, you know, our full line of rain wands as well. And what we'll do is we actually have a machine that tests it, and it will go up and down and test how it hits the ground to make sure that it doesn't get damaged as well. And then also with one of our new products, that's the One Touch valve, we actually have a black rubber band on here. And the reason that we have that is actually that we realize that a lot of gardeners, what they do is they'll drag it around. So we actually have a test on that as well, that you'll drag it around, and we want to make sure that this doesn't wear, because if it does, eventually it's going to leak on you.
And I have been guilty of doing all of that in my own garden. It's true. And they hold up so well and for so long. But you also have great sprinklers too.
Yeah, so you know, like I talked about, we started in the greenhouse industry, but went on to the retail, and then since then we have expanded into a full line of watering tools. As you mentioned, we have our line of sprinklers, such as our Saline Sprinkler. This is really great for like a really large rectangle size yard, because that you can cover like 3,000 square feet.
And adjustable.
Yep, definitely adjustable.
Really adjust it,
And you know, an interesting fact that I like to tell people about this too is that actually what we did was we actually completely redesigned how we make Saline sprinklers. And the reason is that the way other people make them is the water will come through and they'll go through the motor.
Yeah.
And that what makes this oscillate. What the problem is that your sprinkler and your hose sits outside. So there's gunk that eventually builds up here, and it will get into the gears and then it will jam. What we did was we designed it where the water goes around the gear. So that way, when there is gunk that goes in there, it's actually going to come up here. And then this actually comes apart. It's like this little needle, and you can simply clear this out and then drain it out.
Oh, that's
so
very
it's not
clever.
going to stop oscillating. It's just maybe has some that you have to clear up a little bit.
And you know, the wonderful thing too is these are easy products to find now. You can go to independent garden centers. There's a host of stores that carry them, and they're so easy to find because of the colors. You have brightly colors. You can pick up hoses that match. You can whether it's the color of your sports fan or whatever you are, you can really do a great job of watering your garden and be pretty cool while you're doing it. So for more information, you can go to gardentime.tv. We can click you over to the Dramm website. Jessica, this has been a delight. Thank
you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.